Welcome back to Headingley for our latest episode of Box 2 in partnership with Best Western Hotels GB, supporting local, proudly independent hotels. Welcome back to Box 2. Myself, Jamie Jones Buchanan, joined this week by one quarter of arguably the most famous rugby league family in the world. The oldest brother, former Leeds Rhinos player, Luke Burgess. Mate, you come over, you've travelled over to UK, you came to do the marathon, you did a great job as well. How were your legs? How did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, living out of a suitcase, Jonesy. I take it everywhere with me, so here it is. That's why the t-shirt's a bit creased.
Premium.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I came over for the marathon.
Yeah.
It was such a fantastic event. It was a brutal course, and my legs are certainly feeling the pinch today.
Tough. It was really tough, mate. But it's interesting. The weekend itself was a weekend that blew me away. I never cease to be amazed at some of the experiences I have with the Rhinos badge on. Let's just flick back 24, 48 hours to the Wigan game when we've gone over there. And we've got a chance. The potential is always in the team. We've beaten the big sides this year already. You're never quite sure. First half performance, bit up in the air, bit calamitous at times. Zane Tetevano is sent off. James Bentley goes off with an head injury. I think we're going in about 14 points to 6 at half time, and you think this is looking a little bit precarious. What did you make of that second half performance?
It was crazy, wasn't it? You talk about adversity. The backs were certainly against the wall in that game, but to come back with 12 men against a side like Wigan just shows the courage the boys had, and a bit of that Leeds Rhinos spirit too. It was a pretty important game. I feel like the boys needed that win, and Wigan are a top side. I think they were sat second in the league before that game, so it was always going to be a tough game with 13 men, let alone being down to 12. So it was a massive effort to come home and not only win, but like you just said, blew them away towards the end.
Talking about sin binnings, there's a famous game where you all played together. Yourself, Sam, Tom, George. Sam got sin binned. It got a bit precarious in that game as well, but you come back and it was one of those fond memories of doing it against the grain, doing it tough.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the first time we ever played together for South. That was back in 2013, and there was a massive build-up to that game. Obviously, it was the first time that four brothers were going to be taking the field in the same game for the same team. So you can imagine the build-up and the hype in the media. It was a great week, but yeah, Sam got sin-binned early on in that game for a professional foul. And whilst he was off the field, I think we conceded 2 tries, went down, we're already down by 6. I'm pretty sure we were down by about 18 points. Certainly wasn't the script we were looking for. But yeah, Sam came back on the field, I think scored a try not too long after he'd been back on the field. I managed to get a try that night.
Yep.
And we went on and won the game, so it's one of those memories that I'll never forget. Obviously, it was a special evening, being the first time to play with all my brothers, but the way we won was quite cool.
I've always been fascinated by you and your brothers, Beth. I've seen you growing up, I've seen you come through the system at the Rhinos. I remember Sam being a young lad at Bradford Bulls, and Tom and George, I had them in scholarship way back when, and they were massive. And I remember the day they come up to me, they must have known they were leaving, because they come and shook my hand. They said, thanks for everything you've done. And I thought, I don't think they're coming back. And we were devastated. But I've watched your careers, mate, and I think as a dad of 4 boys, I do look up to you all with a great deal of reverence for the picture that you personify as a group, the tightness as you are with that brotherhood. When Sam goes off there, is there an element of trust and a prior understanding of belief and faith within each other that actually as a group of men together, and with the South team, you're going to pull it back and get the win?
Well, yeah, Sam was always our guy who, you know, everyone would sort of lean on Sam when times like that, and then he was the guy that was off the field. So it was probably our turn, the squad's turn, to show him a little bit of faith and try and hold things together whilst he was off. And you know, we had some great senior players as well in that team. Johnny Sutton, Lloyd Takiri, you know, Isaac Luke, he was a big part of that squad back then. Michael Crocker. Yeah. So we had some great leaders as well that we managed to. I know we conceded a couple of tries, but we got there in the end, so that was the main thing.
The day before the Wigan game, you went and ate with the players. Now, it's interesting you mentioned the word faith. There's been lots of banners with Roland's face on there, and this idea of having faith in the group, and I never lose faith. You know me, I'm a Leeds supporter through and through. But how did you enjoy that time with the boys and getting to know some lads who you've probably not really met before?
I've absolutely loved my time back here, and when we first came back, I reached out to Richie Hunswick, just because I wanted to get in and try to do some recovery and use the ice baths, use the facilities, and the squad's changed completely since I was last here, so it felt a little bit foreign to me to do that and hang around, but Richie and Rowan just opened the doors, rolled out the red carpet. I never met Rowan before. He didn't have to do that for us. We were straight into training, straight on the treatment table, getting massages. We left with a big bag full of goodies, all our gels we needed for the race, all our hydration tablets. It was just, I can't believe how well we've been received. And then we were invited to lunch, which is, I always found it's quite an intimate lunch, the lunch that you have after captain's run, before the day before the game, and to be invited along to that was quite special. And then to be asked to address the team and speak to the boys, I really enjoyed that. And I did feel a bit of an energy around the place through the week. Going in, that things have changed. I really enjoyed seeing all the history of the club around the place. She sees all the championships that have been won. And I think it's a good reminder. This club's always been built on a good culture. We've always had, back in our days, we had a great core group of players that managed to stay together for a long time, and they always drove that success. I think to have success in any team, any business, it needs to be driven from within. I don't think the coach can drive that necessarily. I think it has to come from the players, and performance on Friday showed that they've got a bit of that in them. So hopefully take some confidence. They've got to play Wigan again this week. Looks like it's going to be similar squads, so they know what to do. Just hopefully do it with 13 men this time.
Yeah, they were outstanding. They're great. Loads of faith. When you say we, you're talking about Nick Youngquest has come over, and I'll be honest with you, mate. At first, didn't recognise him at first, mate. I'm thinking this bloke's far too good looking to be a rugby player. He's like a model, isn't he? And he used to play back at Cass, for those who are big rugby league fans. He's like the pre-Jax O'Neill, isn't he? He's sort of Love Island material. Is that what he's been doing?
He actually, when he retired, he ended up over in New York, and he did a big campaign for Paco Rabanne, Invictus, their fragrance, and I think he was their face for about 10 years. He was travelling all around the world, promoting this fragrance. It's such a good life. It was hanging around with some good sorts along the way, I think. He is a model. He still does a bit here and there, but I've just been rooming with him too for the last week, so I've had a good time.
It'd be like Paul Sculthorpe, mate. I bet it smells amazing. Premium's always. Right, let's get into this marathon, because for me, it really brought the city together. What Rob Burrows, Lindsay Burrow, the family, Kev Sinfield done, just amazing. But running round the track there, the people of Leeds that came out to support the event just blew me away, right into Otley. And I think the occasion got everybody through and back to the finish line. What did you make of that togetherness? Do it for your mate, this phrase that Rob and Kev have both personified in the last 2 or 3 years.
I mean, just to see on the day, I think there was 13,000 people doing the marathon. 51% of those first-time marathon runners, which is just a crazy stat for a marathon to have 51% first-time marathon runners. Just shows people willing to put themselves on the line for Rob, for MND. But running around the whole course of the whole 26.2 miles, the streets were lined the whole way, weren't they? There were just people out offering sweets, waters, just shouting all day. They must have been there for hours. I ran New York in November last year, and that was an amazing experience. Again, just the streets were lined, but this was just very similar atmosphere. The people of Leeds really came together and just showed how supportive they are of Kev, of Rob, what they're trying to achieve, and MND too. So it was such an amazing day on Sunday, and one that I'll never ever forget.
Me too. And the energy got you round. You got round in under 4 hours. That was your target. But your dad, Mark, sadly passed away with MND, so it's a topic that's really close to your heart, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Lost my dad in 2007. Dad was 46 when he passed away. And back then, there certainly wasn't nowhere near as much awareness around the disease as what there is today. And Kev and Rob certainly got a big part to play in that. They've put it on the map all around the world. I was up at midnight last night talking to a breakfast show back in Australia, and talking about Rob and Kev back there. So people are talking about it all over the world, and M&D, there's so much more money being raised. I know Rob's got his dream to get this specialist centre built here in Leeds to help families and people who are struggling with M&D. So to think that that's going to happen is just incredible compared to where we're at, 15 years ago.
We're going to get that centre built in Rob's name. I've seen Dr. Young on the news. They're talking about that and some big strides. I think £3 million was the sort of figure as the time we're filming this. And again, just that inspiration going forward. And what's interesting, this motto that we've got to change lives through the power of sport is the mission and vision of the Leeds Rhinos. And it was done without even a ball being kicked, which makes it that bit more inspiring. You just sort of get this idea of people really coming together and just touch on that with the international influence. You're talking about people all over the world. Well, when you've got international or creating international influence, that is part of the criteria for a knighthood. People talking about Kev getting a knighthood, it'd be cool to see him get the old recognition from the royal family again.
I got goosebumps. Just you saying that, I got goosebumps, yeah. It would be incredible to see that, and I don't think he's too far away.
No, me either. Right, this week, big game again, Challenge Cup this time. Silverware on the line. Wigan currently own that silverware as well. They've lost the last two now. They've lost against us and then Hull. What are they going to be like this week?
Obviously, they're still going to be hurting a bit from last week out there. The ego's probably a bit bruised. So I'm sure they've done plenty of work reviewing the game. I don't know how you review a game against 12 men. Probably just would have been pretty bad defence. So they'll be working a lot on their defence this week. I know Leeds got the win, but probably weren't too convincing in the win. They got a couple of intercept tries. There was a couple of sort of what I would class as soft tries, like soft defence from Wigan. It was almost just like a one-up carry and good bit of footwork and led to a try. So Leeds have certainly got some work to do this week in training, and I know that Rowan will be wanting to improve on that performance because Wigan are Wigan out there, and it's a Challenge Cup. Like you said, they're the current champions, so they'll be looking to defend that trophy. Again, it's going to be at Headingley. It's going to be at Headingley, right?
Yeah. So it sure is.
I'm gutted I'm going to miss this game because the new stadium looks amazing. I'd love to come and get some of that atmosphere. So hopefully this place will be filled again for the game. And I know Leeds always feel like they've got an extra player on the field when the fans get behind them here at Headingley.
They certainly do. I'm really looking forward to it. Just the mindset around the win last week and the confidence that breeds within the group, do you think that'll have an influence in sort of that belief, that faith in each other going out and getting the performance? Because those moments when you do it tough with 12 men and perform against all the odds, it lasts for a while, doesn't it? It creates momentum.
Yeah, it does. The performances, the wins like that where you do it again with 12 men, or you've got no one left on the bench, you've got 4 injuries, and the 13 on the field, they've got to play the rest of the game. They're the ones you remember. They're the ones that you grow the strength from. You've been to those dark places before. You know what it feels like. So certainly, there's going to be a lot of confidence. I mean, I would like to think there's going to be a lot of confidence drawn from that performance, certainly, and just a little bit of touch up here and there. And I honestly think that performance has got to be seen as a turning point in the season for this squad, for this team, and it should be able to springboard into the second half of the season and really jump up that leaderboard and get to that top 4.
Amen to that.
Top 2. Is it top 2?
Top 6, mate. Top 6.
Okay. So you want to be top? It's top 2 over here, right?
6.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, but top 2 is the.
Yeah. It's. I mean, we've run it from 5th or whatever it passed before. Lads did an unbelievable job last year getting to the grand final there. So you're going to be on your way, jet setting back all soon. Just give us a quick insight into what next month, next year looks like. What are you up to now? What's Sam doing? He's coaching obviously at the South, and Tom's still playing, but George, what's he doing with himself?
Yeah, so I get back to Australia. Me and my brothers launched our own clothing label almost 3 years ago now. So I run the business for that. The boys are all still busy, so that's left to me, which is all right. But we're still growing. Sam's coaching at South. Tom's still playing, so those two are still there. I've got a bit of an ambassadorial role at the club, so still attached in a very casual kind of way. George actually has just signed for a team up in Cairns.
Right.
He's gone to play some park football up there. So yeah, we'll see how he goes. I think he's still got a desire to play, so big fella needs to get himself fit, and hopefully he'll enjoy himself.
Good on him. What's the clothing line called?
4B label.
4B.
Do you know why we called it 4B?
Nope, I'm going to find out though.
Oh,
Four brothers, maybe?
There you go.
There we go.
Very simple.
There we go. Bit of intuition there. We'll get yourself. Can you ship or you drop ship or order online from Australia?
Yeah, you can. We do ship worldwide. Yeah, international shipping is quite expensive at the moment, but
Premium.
if you spend over a certain amount, we'll cover the shipping.
Discount code for Leeds fans, maybe.
We're actually discounted at the moment, 50% off. So treat yourself.
Grab yourself a bag.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. Get yourself down here on Saturday. It's going to be a massive, massive occasion. It's the Challenge Cup. League form goes out of the window. I actually hope that they bring it to this competition because the boys are on fire, or certainly they were in that second half against Wigan. 2:30 p.m. here at Edinburgh Stadium on Saturday, and then the women are kicking off against Huddersfield Giants in the Challenge Cup as well, Luke, at 2 p.m, and the wheelchair team is going to be in action over in Hull. Massive weekend for sport. Hopefully it'll replicate last weekend, which was one of the best I've ever had with the Leeds Rhinos badge on in 27 years of being a part of this real special club. All the best to you, Biff. Thanks for coming along.
Thanks, Jonesy. It's been awesome to see you and catch up with a few of the boys as well after the marathon. Probably had a few too many beers, but we were only here for a short time, so we made it a good time.
It feels like we just walked off the pitch again, mate. The people never, ever leave you. Up to see you Saturday, and maybe after the game in the long bar. Thanks for joining us. See you soon. God bless.
These are the moments when men are made or broken. The Challenge Cup. Gets it away, it's going to be a try! Mile over! Brilliant from Leeds! French it is, about the try, and then Toby King with the try, and French is away, kicks through, Wardle gets it, ball inside, Harry Newman using the big dive!
Now they've got numbers, and they've got a try. Ash Handley down his left-hand side.
And Harry Smith with another kick, Liam Marshall into the corner, wow!